Hi, so this week's column's on hair removal. Don't worry, I'm not about to give myself a bikini wax on camera. I'm just going to talk you through a couple of things I tested and really liked, and explain how some of them work, and hopefully it won't look like something from QVC. So it really depends where the hair is that you're trying to remove, in terms of which method you use, obviously. Now, for me, you can't beat a razor. Gillette make the best razors, in my opinion. This is my favourite one. They do some with all bits of stuff on, like, you know, solidified bars of shaved gel planted into, you know, all that stuff. I think it's all a pain and they're more expensive and stuff. Just blades. All you want is blades and a little sort of glider strip. That's all you need. The blades are the most important thing. And I've just found that Gillette blades last a lot longer. They last for several goes. And I use a razor on legs and underarms. Can't see the point in waxing underarms when it takes 5 seconds to shave them. And I'm not a fan of waxing legs just because I hate that in-betweeny stage, and I don't think that your legs feel as nice either when you wax them. And ingrown hairs and stuff, I mean, who can be bothered? I do, however, advise that you go for waxing for bikini line, or at least that's one of the methods I would recommend. If you do wax, just go to a salon, especially for something like bikini line, and get a hot wax. I've tried sugaring, I'm not keen on it, and those cold wax strips put the fear of God in me. If you're brave enough to use them, fine, but I think they're bad for ingrown hairs and so painful. I just think you can't beat a good hot wax, and every salon now is used to doing bikini waxes. It's not embarrassing like it was. It's absolutely fine. I wouldn't take a razor to bikini line if I were you. Just stick with waxing. It's you know, leave it to the professionals in sensitive areas, I would say. The other method that works really well on bikini line, that works really well anywhere actually, is an epilator. Now, I know that lots of women who've tried epilators in the past have been sworn off them for life, because when they first came out in the sort of 80s, they were properly terrifying. They really hurt. What they did, they used to have a sort of metal coil around them, and that coil would sort of grab hairs and twist them out. It was really painful. Nowadays, this is my epilator that I recommend actually in the column. It's very good. It almost has little tweezers that when you turn it on, it's going to be really noisy when I turn it on, but you'll see what I mean. When you turn it on, those tweezers sort of go in and out and pluck the hairs out. And the advantage of an epilator is it can pluck out hairs when they're really short, unlike waxing. This one by Braun, for example, can take hairs out as small as a grain of sand. They really grab onto stuff in a way that you can't hope to achieve with waxing, which needs hair that's a bit longer. There are a few different versions of epilators you can get nowadays. This is a new one. You can get them with razor blades attached, so you still get that kind of wet shave feel to your legs, but you get the long-lasting effects of epilators. I personally don't feel the need for one of those myself, but if you really like that, you really like epilating your legs, but you want that razor finish, that's a really good one to go for. In terms of wet shaving, you want a shaving foam. I kind of, you know, I mix and match because I get sent so much product. My favourite is Clinique M Shave, which is an aloe gel, and it's for men, but it doesn't smell, you know, that horrible sort of Lynx Africa smell that so much of men's toiletries smell like. This doesn't. It's a really neutral aloe smell, but also Gillette do an aloe vera one, which is also very good. And if you're caught short, you can also use hair conditioner. Lots of women swear by this method. I think it's fine if you're caught short. I don't like to use it all the time because I think it coats your blades a bit in a way that I don't really want. I prefer something more water soluble. But it certainly works well in the short term because it softens the hairs and it doesn't fall off as you rub it into your legs. It works quite well. There is a new method of hair removal that is really gathering pace, and that's IPL technology. You will have heard perhaps of friends of yours, or some women have gone to salons for permanent laser hair removal. Now this can work wonders for lots of women. However, I have now known 3 women who've had laser hair removal in a salon on bikini line or legs, and it's cost them 500 quid, and they've been absolutely delighted with the results. Then a year later everything's grown back again. The joy of IPL, even though an IPL unit is very expensive, so this Philips Lumea one is £400, for example, which is not cheap, but the joy of them is that you have it at home, and once a month you maintain the permanent hair removal. So once a month you use it, and it just keeps hair at bay, and you've always got the unit, so you're not having to constantly fork out more and more and more money. It's a one-off investment. The other good thing about that one-off investment, even though it's really high, is because they're really hygienic. They don't have little tweezers, or they don't have blades. It almost looks like a torch. You can share the cost with a girlfriend or a sister or a mum or something, and just pass it round, because you're only doing it once a month, and it's totally hygienic to share. So it really works well from that point of view. So the really important thing to remember with IPL units is that they work on contrast. So they work on dark hair against light skin. There needs to be a difference between hair colour and skin colour. So that means that there are lots of people who can't use IPL. It's not a decision made by the companies, it's just how the technology works. So when you look at an IPL unit, generally they'll have these sorts of colour charts, and they'll say, you know, who it'll work on, who it won't work on. So for example, if you have dark hair and black skin, it's not going to work. If you have white hair and pale skin, it's not going to work. A pale brunette, for example, like my colouring, it does work on me, because there's that contrast. So it'll give you this sort of chart here where you compare your hair colour and your skin colour, and it'll tell you if it works for you. But mainly you're talking about light-ish skin and dark hair, although, you know, a fairly tanned woman with black hair would work fine, but you just need to be able to see quite a strong difference between hair and skin colour. The reason IPL units are so good is that if you're somebody for whom hair growth is, you know, a real problem, it's a real pain in the neck to keep on top of things, you just find that you're constantly waxing or forking out a fortune for waxing, or you can't, you know, you're constantly having to shave and stuff, and it, you know, it really gets you down, then IPL units are fantastic. It's a way of eradicating the problem permanently. You know, you're just doing your one-off intensive period, and then your maintenance every month, and it really does work. This is the unit itself, and there, you know, there are lots of other brands who make these. I've tested the Lumea, and it's very good, and it just sort of looks a bit like a torch / hairdryer, and it's just, you just sort of shine it on the area, and it clicks a bit, and you shave the skin first, and it tackles the roots. It's quite a sort of heavy unit, that's the only thing, but you're really not using it very often. And it can be a really sort of worthy investment for people. But for the rest of us, if hair removal isn't just like a massive drag in your life, then you're absolutely fine with razors and waxing, and I would certainly consider an epilator. They've come a long way. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.